Welcome to the first live episode of the Connected CEO Show. I am your host, Keisha. I am the Connected CEO, and this show is all things cannabis in the DMV region and beyond. So, we've got a little bit to talk about because it's been a busy time, specifically here in Maryland. But before we get started, I just want to welcome you and say hello. Just a little bit about me. I wear multiple hats in the cannabis industry, but the one that I'm most proud of to wear today is the CEO of Explore Maryland Cannabis. Explore Maryland Cannabis is a community outreach and membership organization. We provide pathways to the industry, whether it be through career and workforce or small business. So that is a bit about Explore Maryland Cannabis. You can find all about the great things that we do by following us on social media. We are currently in a under construction for our website because we got some new great things coming as adult use comes. We all have to get ready for the growth, right? So I'm excited to bring you this show. I'm excited to talk about all the things that has been happening in this region. And I'm also just excited to be here. It's Friday, and I have been a busy senorita for the last 2 months. It started off at the beginning of March speaking at Spark, and it just has continued since then. We'll talk more about Spark later in this episode, but I kind of want to get into some DMV cannabis business news. And specifically today, we're going to talk about Maryland. So if you know, our amazing governor, thank God, has signed our bill into law finally. So not only it's something that we've been waiting for since the beginning of time, right? It literally puts us in place to have our sales start July 1st. Now, there are a lot of things that comes with an adult use market. There are some trepidations around the ways in which the framework is set up, but at the end of the day, it's early days, right? It is very early days, and I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to occur as we move forward through that market. But I just want to talk a bit about the bill because a lot of folks are asking me what I think. Let's hide that there. But if we want to talk about the bill, we're going to talk about the bill today. We're going to talk about the bill. So I love grabbing this coverage from Marijuana Moment. They do really great reporting around just cannabis in general. If you aren't following them, be sure to follow them. But 2 days ago, Kyle, shout out to Kyle, published this article around what to expect for adult use. So let me go ahead and do that there so you can see. As you can see, and I'm going to go ahead and read because reading is fundamental. Maryland Governor Wes Moore, put some respect on his name, has signed a bill to regulate marijuana sales, setting the stage for legalization statewide. I just can't even just tell you how excited we are. Governor Wes Moore, who earlier this month or earlier this week, it was found that he has moved some of his assets into the Treasury for governor, and that was some of his holdings from Green Thumb Industries, but he is no longer connected with that organization. But that's good because we know he knows cannabis. Back to this article, you can head on over to YouTube to check it out and see what exactly you can expect from this bill. You can see who was there at the bill signing. But basically, I want to go ahead and get to the nitty gritty, right? So at the end of the day, cannabis will be taxed at 9%. That is it. That is there. Tax revenue will be split amongst a few different funds, whether it be the public health fund or the business assistance fund. And as those regulations and laws come into play, we'll go into depth as the weeks catch up and get more information around what those funds are going to be earmarked for. We know that a new independent Maryland Cannabis Administration will be responsible for regulating the program. So the Medical Cannabis Commission, they also had their last meeting a couple of weeks ago. Sayonara for them. Hello to our new Maryland Cannabis Administration. We know that existing operators will be in play if they've paid to play in the existing market. We know that there will not be any new licenses issued until about July 1st. So that means, and this is very, very important, That means that if you are looking to get a license in this round, you will have to qualify as a social equity applicant. So the biggest thing that I can tell you, if you are looking to enter into this next round of licenses, be sure to have your ducks in a row. Be sure to stay connected, because it's going to be very important that you don't mess up on the application, especially since it's a lottery system this time around. We're going to head back to that article there. We know that, as just I mentioned, social equity. Social equity is what is going to be, they will be given preference to those applicants moving forward in this upcoming round. They've also talked about caps, right? So there is essentially going to be caps for growers, processors, and dispensaries. And of course, our micro businesses, which we're super excited about, our micro social equity applicants, they will be capped as well at 10 dispensaries, 100 processors, and 100 growers. So I'm very, very, very interested to see how this is going to play out. There's a lot of great information in this article, and I'll make sure that it is included in the show description, the show notes, so that you can get an opportunity to see and hear what this is going to look like, because I encourage you, I absolutely encourage you. You have to know the law. You've got to read what's happening. You've got to stay up to date. And the best way to stay up to date is to tap in with us. I'll be here every week through the end of the year. So if you are looking to get a pathway into the industry, come on, I'm ready for you. We're going to head on over to our next segment, which is called The Strategy. So, another hat that I wear is I am a consultant for small businesses in this ecosystem. And one of the things that my small business owners and clients are not thinking about is email marketing. Now, just a little bit of tip about what we use and what I use. If I'm blasting and broadcasting, I'm using MailChimp. They are cannabis friendly. If I happen to be using something very targeted, talking to a specific audience, and I want to see how that converts, I use ConvertKit. Those are the two options that I use, I love, I recommend to my clients. And I'm going to say this to you. If you do not have an email list in this day and age in the cannabis industry, you need to go ahead, stop watching, scroll over to those resources that I mentioned earlier, and get signed up. I don't know about you, but I remember the days, and I'm sure more are coming, when Facebook went down or Instagram went down. Right? How were you communicating with your audience? How are you communicating with your clients? Shoot, how are you just communicating, right? I know the scroll gets addicting, but you have no ownership over the information on those social media accounts. So I encourage you, if you're looking for a way to build up your list, to get more sales, to scale, get prepared for adult use, let's sharpen your email marketing. I'm going to go ahead and pause with this commercial break, and I'll be right back after this. Before we head into the commercial break, I'm going to show a clip of Spark. If you happen to miss it last night, Ellie Siegel from Longview Strategic was there. She's worked on applications up and down the East Coast, and you'll get a little bit of a taste of what she had to talk about now.
Everything you knew or learned in that entire body of work. And that's sort of how these applications work. The prompts are very important. You have to pay attention to what's being asked of you. You have to be responsive to it, and you have to hit on the important aspects that the state has delineated as these sort of pillars of their program. So you've been paying attention for a long time. You have an idea of what's important around here in Maryland, or what I should say the state has said is important. So, you know, in the West, they didn't necessarily have the level of political aspects at play that seem to be, you know, inherent in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic programs. And they didn't have the number of credentialed service providers. This is a big difference. I can tell you 8 years ago, 12 years ago, it really was a little bit Wild West in the sense that the people that were offering services weren't always highly qualified credentialed people. In this market, You have folks that have the backgrounds, that have been doing this work for a long time now, maybe in other markets surrounding this one, maybe in other industries that they've pivoted this to be ready for this moment. But I say that to say, not that there wasn't any credentialed folks, the talent pool has just deepened. So your opportunity to secure people that can really assist you through this process is much greater than it was 12 years ago, 10 years ago. The opportunity to select people and not have them be conflicted out.
All right, all right. Yes, that was just a taste of what we got to enjoy yesterday at Spark. That was Ellie Siegel. She was talking about just being able to round your talent around your license whenever you decide to apply. So, speaking of applying, I just want to share another resource from Spark last night. If you are not familiar, MDM MDMA, the Maryland Medical Dispensaries Association. Geez, here's the flyer so y'all can see what I'm talking about. MDMA is yes, they are the Maryland Medical Dispensary Association. They have launched a mentorship program, as you can see on the screen. They are working with dispensaries and vendors to help folks who are entering into the cannabis ecosystem via licensure this year. So if you are looking to be a license holder, if you are looking to get some help, they have a program that they've got already set up. I've got the flyer here with some details. I'll just read off. You can go ahead and scan that little QR code there. You can get some information about it. But basically, their mentorship program aims to help upcoming licensees gain a unique insight into the cannabis industry. Our program will include classroom style education and on site experience at an operating cannabis business. Then cohort members will transition to one mentorships with current cannabis license holders. I think this is a really good opportunity for folks who are looking to get into the industry. If you happen to not necessarily have that operating knowledge, this would be a great program to join. I know that MDMA has a community focused lens. I know that a lot of the programming and the members in that program have supported me and supported other community based organizations. So, help them help you give back and get acclimated. I'm spreading the word. There are different ways that you can help into this. If you necessarily are a mentor, they're looking for mentors, they're looking for hosting facilities, they're looking for guest speakers. So be sure to sign that QR code there or head on over to MDMA to learn more about their mentorship program. And I'm super excited to see what's going on. So hopefully I'll have some folks to talk about that next week. All right. I've got a few minutes for Q&A. I'm super excited to have this show get off the ground, get rolling. One of the things that I think a lot of people ask me, and you know, I kind of probably skirt around the answer a little bit, is how do I get into the industry? And so that's one of the reasons that Explore Maryland Cannabis did the pivot that it did. There were so many folks who were either coming at us from, I want to get a job in the industry, to I want to start my business in the industry. And it wasn't just I want to open a dispensary. It was I currently have a solution for a current problem in the industry. How am I able to solve that? So my advice for individuals who are looking to get in, because at this moment, let me do a quick time check. I should have done this before I got started, but listen, you seeing magic as it happens. So it's currently 57 days until July 1st. 57 days. We're under the 2 month mark, and it's only up from here, as the kids like to say. It's only up from here. So if you are looking to get into the industry, my suggestion is, one, get connected, two, do your research, and three, stay prepared, because you never know what type of opportunity will be offered to you in, say, a networking event like Spark, a kickback session like the ones that we hold once a month at the end of the month, coming up May 27th. You can come to the CannaFam Kickback and find your next business partner, find your next CannaFam bestie, right? Or just you want to find a place where you can consume comfortably in a space where there's no icky vibes, right? I encourage you to take at least the next 30 days intentionally from now until June 6th to find a way to find someone who can help you get to your next step. And not only are you looking to help them help you, but you should find a way to help them as well. All right? Well, I'm going to check these comments because we are currently live, but let's just go ahead and say thank you so much. Thank y'all for watching and for tuning in. I promise the show will be a tad bit longer next week, but I just wanted to make sure that I got on, talked about the bill, and gave you all some resources to truly, truly stay connected. Until next week, I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you soon. Peace.